Can the Kennedy Center be renamed for the Trumps? Legal battle explained. Could the iconic Kennedy Center soon bear the Trump name? It's a question that's sparking fierce debate and raising eyebrows across the nation. But here's where it gets controversial. House Republicans have proposed renaming the Kennedy Center's Opera House after former First Lady Melania Trump. And one lawmaker even wants to rebrand the entire center in honor of Donald Trump. But can they actually do it? And should they? The idea was set in motion last week when House Republicans advanced an amendment to a spending bill, suggesting the Opera House be rechristened the First Lady Melania Trump Opera House. This move has ignited a firestorm of discussion, with critics arguing it violates federal law. Jack Schlossberg, grandson of President John F. Kennedy, swiftly took to Instagram to voice his opposition. Citing a federal statute, Public Law 88-260, he emphasized that the law explicitly prohibits additional memorials or plaques within the Kennedy Center after December 2, 1983. This isn't just about politics, Schlossberg implied. It's about respecting the law and preserving history. And this is the part most people miss. While House Republicans on the Appropriations Committee are pushing for the change, they aren't the ones with the authority to make it happen. That power lies with the Kennedy Center's Board of Trustees, and according to legal experts, their hands are tied by the statute. Georgetown law professor David Super explains, the board simply cannot rename the Opera House after Melania Trump or anyone else without Congress's approval. The law is crystal clear on this. But here's the twist. House Republicans aren't asking the board. They're trying to pass legislation. If successful, it would require 60 votes in the Senate, a steep climb given the current political climate. Finding enough Democratic senators to support naming an opera house after the wife of someone who's cut arts funding? Good luck, Super quipped. The controversy deepened when Representative Bob Onder, R. Missouri, introduced a separate bill, the Make Entertainment Great Again Act, which would rename the entire Kennedy Center after Donald Trump. President Trump embodies American exceptionalism in arts and culture, Onder declared on social media. Critics, however, were quick to label the proposal insane and petty. Maria Shriver, a niece of JFK, expressed outrage, calling it ridiculous and small-minded. Here's the bigger question. Is renaming a national monument after a living person even appropriate? Legal expert David Super notes, in America, we don't typically name public institutions after living individuals. That's more common in authoritarian regimes like Russia or North Korea. Representative Chellie Pingree, D. of Maine, echoed this sentiment, stating, the Kennedy Center isn't just a theater. It's a monument to JFK's legacy. Renaming it would be like renaming the Lincoln Memorial. So what's next? Will the Trumps' names grace the Kennedy Center, or will the law and public opinion stand in the way? And more importantly, what does this say about our values as a nation? Is this a harmless tribute or a troubling attempt to rewrite history? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. This debate is far from over. Trump Center for the Arts? Proposed bill sparks outrage over renaming Kennedy Center. Could the Kennedy Center soon be known as the Donald J. Trump Center for the Performing Arts? This provocative question arises as a new piece of legislation, dubbed the Make Entertainment Great Again Act, has been introduced in Congress, specifically targeting the iconic John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, located in Washington, D.C. On July 23rd, Republican Representative Bob Onder from Missouri presented this bill, which proposes to rename the striking cream-colored structure to honor Donald J. Trump. Since its inauguration in 1971, the Kennedy Center has become a national beacon for the arts, showcasing countless performances across its 7 stages. Discussions about renaming this esteemed venue after President Trump began in February, coinciding with his appointment as chairman of the center's board of trustees. In a statement from Onder's office, it was noted that since he was elected as chairman of the Kennedy Center's board of trustees, President Trump has been working to preserve the. In a statement released in May, she expressed her concern over what she described as false allegations made by individuals lacking the necessary context or expertise to understand the complexities of nonprofit and arts management. In a recent legislative move, Republicans voted to allocate $257 million for the improvement of the Kennedy Center as part of the One Big Beautiful Bill. However, they have stipulated that a significant portion of these funds will be withheld unless the Opera House is renamed in honor of Melania Trump, the former First Lady. The proposal to rename the Kennedy Center has sparked outrage on social media, particularly from Jack Schlossberg, the grandson of John F. Kennedy. He expressed his discontent with the potential renaming, stating, "The Trump administration stands for freedom of oppression, not expression. He uses his awesome powers to suppress free expression and instill fear. But this isn't about the arts." Trump is obsessed with being bigger than JFK, minimizing the many heroes of our past as if that elevates him. It doesn't. But there's hope. Art lasts forever, and no one can change what JFK and our shared history stands for. Ultimately, the effort to rename the Kennedy Center after President Trump, or its Opera House after Melania Trump, may conflict with the laws that establish the institution. The guidelines state that since December 1983, no additional memorials or plaques shall be designated or installed. Furthermore, the Make Entertainment Great Again Act is anticipated to face challenges in garnering sufficient support in Congress to pass.